What's going on, my trainer club? We have Treecko Community Day coming this Saturday to Pokemon Go. So what I'm gonna do is break down my top tips to make sure that you can maximize on everything that we have coming for us. So welcome to the trainer club, guys. Here we go. I am walking over to film this video. I just clicked on a Soul Rock and boom, I got that shiny. Super hyped on this. So the funny thing that happened is I literally ran away from this guy because I wanted to film it, getting the encounter, and I went to go back in and it looked like it disappeared. So I was about to freak out. However, I just restarted my game and luckily it was there. But you know, those are the things you got to do sometimes when you want to show off the shiny for the camera. So super hyped on this. I hope you guys are doing amazing getting that shiny Soul Rock or Lunatone wherever you are. So keep hunting, and it looks like they're pretty prevalent because that's maybe like the 30th one that I've gotten. So get that shiny. And what you can do if you're going to Go Fest or something else and you're in another country, you can bring your shiny Lunatones over here. We'll have our shiny Soul Rock stashes and you can trade with somebody. So that's a really good strategy to stock up on as many as you can right now because they're prevalent. Their Soul Rocks are everywhere. The Lunatones, I'm sure, are everywhere for everybody that has those. And get those shinies. Bring them to a festival, Pokemon Go Fest or another fest, and somebody's gonna have a different shiny and you can swap them. It feels like forever since we've had a community day, and this weekend is going to be the Treecko Day. Super excited about the first Gen 3 shiny to come out to community day in Pokemon Go. So let me know in the comments, is Treecko one of your favorite grass starters? I'm very curious about that. Let me know what your favorite grass starter is. Mine was Bulbasaur, but to be quite honest, Turtwig is kind of getting up there for me. I think Torterra is extremely cool. But Sceptile is getting a new move that we're going to discuss in a little bit that is going to make him an excellent Pokemon in Pokemon Go for a grass attacker. So I know we've usually been discussing what time zone it's going to be for you, but Pokemon Go has changed that for everybody, which I think is going to be excellent because it is going to help you without having to have overlap of gameplay from everybody in the US or everybody in Europe trying to get on at the same time, because now Community Day of March will be on March 23rd from 3 to 6 local time wherever you are. So everybody's is the same at 3 to 6 local time on March 23rd. So that is going to be a good thing, in my opinion, for the startup of the event. There's going to be a lot less lag because only one region or one time zone is going to be getting on at that time. So for everybody, it's going to be different. Everybody's going to be finishing differently, but good luck out there, trainers. March 23rd, 3 to 6 p.m. As always, there is going to be 3-hour lures. There is going to be an increase in Treecko spawns, obviously. We're going to have these shiny versions of Treecko out in the wild, which then could be evolved into Grovyle and then into Sceptile. So that's going to be going on. What we're going to start looking at is the top tips and including the bonuses that are going to be there. Actually, I'm going to give you guys a pre-tip, and that is, if you saw my grass video, top tips to max out the grass event, what I'm going to suggest doing is that you're making sure to get as many Treeckos and Grovyle right now as you possibly can. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again and again. Get them right now, especially if it's sunny. Get the boosted ones, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to trade them to get the luckies to make sure that you can evolve, because we're going to check out that Sceptile Frenzy Plant move, which is something that you must have. And my number one tip is going to be to maximize on the incubator bonus that is going to be coming out, because we're going to be hatching in 1/4 the amount of time. And if you use your super incubators, you're going to be hatching in even quicker amounts of time. So I highly suggest using those super incubators to make sure to hatch eggs as quickly as possible. And what I'm going to suggest for you for my first tip is not to go putting on any eggs in any incubators until the event starts. So wait until the event starts. First thing you're going to do, maybe set it at 3:01 for an alarm just in case you start forgetting. Boom, go ahead and then start and put on all of your eggs if you're going to be doing this, and then keep the star pieces running for the entire time. The eggs the entire time if you're going to utilize it, and then every time you get a new egg when you hatch, you're going to want to go ahead and then put those on if you want to have them as quick incubating eggs. Like if you get a 10K for myself, I'll probably throw that on again. If I get like a 2K or a 5K, I'll definitely use my free incubator, but I may not use those guys for paid incubators like super incubators and regular excess bonus incubators. As I always talk about, make sure to get into a location that is supreme for spawns and for stops spinning ability, because we always get the tasks during the event, which is going to help you get more balls and more pineapple berries. So you're going to want to utilize this. If you need to use your pineapple berries, go ahead and do that. But what I do suggest, if you have enough Treecko candy and you don't plan on maxing a ton of these or evolving a ton of these guys, what you can do is just not use those pineapple berries if you're looking for sheer numbers and you have somebody driving you around like a looped area of a downtown. Because using the pineapple berries and not using the pineapple berries will literally probably net you a total of 50 extra at the end of the event, because of the amount of time it actually takes you. And if you add up all those extra 15, 20, 30 seconds, I literally think it would net to about 40 to 50 extra Treecko by the end of the event, which could be a total of 2 to 3 extra shinies. So you have to prioritize if you're going to go gung-ho and just get as many shinies, or if you want to prioritize and you want to get the candy as well. It's okay to get a little bit less, because I know we have a ton surplus of all of these guys' candy and shinies by the end of community day. So do you actually need to have more candy and more shinies? Do you need 15, 20, 30 shinies? Because me personally, I don't even know what to do with these guys anymore. I've literally been looking through my bag like, do I start to delete these shinies? And I know like it's not the best idea because they're very rare when it's not community day, but they end up impeding on the bag space, and we only have a limited amount of bag space in the end. And then tip number 3 is going to be to utilize bag space to the most effectiveness. And this is going to be one of the things, if you guys checked out my search bar shortcut video, it's going to be utilize this key term, and it is going to be exclamation point and then type in Treecko. So if you're grinding and grinding and grinding and boom, your bag gets full, what you're going to want to do is go right into your bag, type in exclamation point Treecko. What that's going to do, it's going to subtract out all of the Treecko from your bag. So then you can go through and be like, oh, there's a Pidgey, there's a rat, there's this, there's that, there's this, brrr, highlight them all, transfer, and then go back to playing quickly. So then you can start doing that, because the best thing to do is to save your Treeckos for trading, for evolving, for appraising, instead of utilizing it in another direction. So getting rid of all those other Pokemon, if you like, oh, there's no Treecko here right now, I might as well catch this Pidgey or whatever it is, make sure to delete those guys out of there so that you can maximize. Which brings me to my number 4 tip, and if you have the capability to paste into your search bar, what I would suggest doing is to utilize the 100% IV chain that has been provided to us by a Reddit post. Super appreciate them. Pokemon Go for all their knowledge, Game Press for the stats that we're going to be going over in a little bit. Make sure to utilize this if you want to do a quick check to see if you have a 100% IV potential. And what I mean by potential, you can also utilize the 100% IV chart to know what the IV values are, which I will post in the comments as well. But the best thing to do, in my opinion, is just to copy this, paste it into your search bar, and it's going to pull all of these CPs that are coinciding with the 100% IV. So then what you can do is then go click on it and appraise it quicker than going through all these, trying to appraise them and praise them. Okay, which ones do I evolve? Which ones don't I evolve? Because remember, we always have that 1 hour after community day to utilize. What I do is I trade for the first 40 minutes because I want to trade all of my highest CPs to try to get luckies. And then when I get those luckies, what I do is I evolve them. So I save at least 20 minutes at the end to evolve as much as I possibly can, because that is the window that's going to get you the rest of the move. And this move, which is my number 5 tip, you absolutely must have Sceptile with Frenzy Plant. From the research that I've done, which we are going to check out right now. So checking the differentials here, we are going to compare Venusaur, Roserade, Sceptile, and Tangrowth, some of the best grass attackers in the game. We did have the Groudon as well, but since he's not a straight grass attacker, I just didn't want to include that in this mix-up. So first we're going to check out the Venusaur. So Venusaur with the Vine Whip and Frenzy Plant is going to be his best move, with a DPS of 14.782 and a TDO, so total damage output, is going to be 429. So Venusaur, being a tanky Pokemon, is going to have a pretty good total damage output because he's going to be able to do a little bit more damage without dying. Roserade with Razor Leaf and Grass Knot is going to have a 15.782 DPS, and then he's going to have a 372.4 total damage output, which is going to be a little bit less because he's a little bit more of a glassy Pokemon. And then going down, we're going to now look at Sceptile, who has a 16.367 DPS with Fury Cutter and Frenzy Plant. So that's with Bug and Grass. But if we're looking at Bullet Seed and Frenzy Plant, he has a 15.434. And then he's going to have a total damage output of 368.5 with Double Grass. Or with Fury Cutter and Frenzy Plant, he's going to have a 390.8. So with the Fury Cutter and Frenzy Plant, he is actually going to be surpassing Roserade, even though it's not going to give you the most stab effectiveness of his moveset. But he's going to have more DPS and more TDO than the Roserade, which I find very effective, obviously. I mean, that's pretty incredible. And then for Tangrowth, I wanted to throw that in there because there was a lot of talk about him being the best grass attacker in the game. Tangrowth with Vine Whip and Solar Beam is going to have a DPS of 13.955 and a total damage output of 462.5. And the reason his is boosted up so much is because he's such a tanky Pokemon that he's going to be able to last longer and get in more damage overall. But if we're looking for sheer DPS, which means damage per second, how much we're doing, we are looking at the Sceptile with the Fury Cutter and Frenzy Plant to maximize. That's why I think the Frenzy Plant is such a dominant move on Sceptile. So highly recommend that. And then after this tutorial, you can check out the skip animation quick catch trick to help you maximize on Community Day. As always, we always want to be as fast and efficient as possible. Looks like Sceptile is going to be the top tier grass attacker with his moveset. I know it doesn't do the most TDO in total because he is not the tankiest, but the sheer strength using Frenzy Plant for Sceptile is absolutely dominant. Highly advised to have, even though grass is kind of like one of those things that like always gets beat out by something else. Yes, it is useful on certain Pokemon in certain situations under certain weather conditions. However, usually it gets beat out. Like it can get beat out by thunder when we're going against water. It can get beat out by other types. And so it's kind of like this mediocre thing because the grass Pokemon aren't like super powerful. So there's typically something to beat it out. So we might as well have a super effective Sceptile with that Frenzy Plant move. So beyond that, what we want to do is make sure that we have enough bag space. We want to make sure we have enough Pineapple Berries. We want to make sure that we grind enough stops so that we have Ultra Balls and Great Balls to make sure that we can maximize this Community Day. Have everything set up. Have your timer set up so that you can do your star pieces, your incense, and your lucky eggs, which I always suggest doing during the entire event just because it's going to be the most effective. So what I am going to suggest doing is making sure to maximize, get as many shinies as you possibly can. Do your trading. If you can trade with somebody that's a little further away to get a little bit extra candy, that is good. Get those luckies. Collect as many Treeckos as you possibly can right now and trade them to make sure that you have the most you possibly can. So thank you for tuning into the Trainer Club, guys. I'll see you out there getting those shiny Treecko. Here we go, guys. We are going to learn how to do the quick catch trick in Pokemon Go. So the first thing we need to do is obviously locate a Pokemon. And this works for any type of ball. So go ahead and select the ball you want. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to push down on the ball tray and slide it over. Notice how my finger that pushed down on the ball tray is still on the screen and never lets go of the screen. So then with the other hand, this is going to take two hands, you can then pick the ball up. And notice when I do let go of the ball tray, it is going to pop out like that. So that's basically the premise of what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and use a berry. And then for all the left hand throwing players, you can also do this with the left hand, which you're going to put your right finger over the berry tray, and then you're going to throw with your left finger. So first we're going to do it with the right hand throwing player. So I pull that ball over, I go ahead and wind up, and I let go. And as I let go, you notice, boom, I pop the berry tray open by letting both fingers go, and the run button has popped up in the top left corner, and you go ahead and click that. So it was a little bit difficult to see there, but boom, look, the Oddish is in your bag. So that is the trick and the key. So here we're going to do this with the Piplup. We're going to go ahead and do it with a left-handed throw. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a berry. And then I am going to go ahead and pull that berry tray over with my right finger, keeping my right finger on the screen, wind up. And then whenever I'm ready, it's a little hard for my left hand, go ahead and throw that and release it. And you can just click out right away, Or you can wait until the 3 tricks and then go ahead and click in that top left for that run button, and boom, you caught that guy and he is sitting in your bag. That little piplup right there. So that is how you do it. So the first thing we're gonna do is take our non-throwing hand and we're gonna place it on the tray ball. We're gonna pull it over. Once we pull it over, we're gonna take our other hand. So we have 2 hands on the screen and we're gonna wind up and throw. Once that happens, we let go of the ball and the tray comes out as shown in the box. Once that tray is out and we hit the Pokemon, we then click on the screen outside of the tray, which will then close the tray. So once the tray is closed, we can now click run from this Pokemon, because the run button has now glitched and is still up in the top left, so we don't have to see the shake screen anymore. And once I clicked run, I then click on the Abra and boom, I have an error message. And some of you may be like, what does that mean, having an error message on the screen when you click on a Pokemon? Did it despawn? The answer is, let's check our bag. Boom, that Abra is now in our bag so that we have him and we did not have to watch the shake, 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 catch, then click OK type screen. So watch this in fast motion. This is real speed. Gonna go ahead and hit that Paris, click out. Gonna hold down on the ball tray, pull it over, throw it at the Ghastly, click out, run, and then go on to my next Pokemon. I'm gonna go ahead and use this for an Ultra Ball. Pull over, click out. So this is real speed of how quickly I can catch these Pokemon. And I will show you in a second what my bag looks like. So here we go again. We're gonna hold the non-throwing thumb on the ball tray, let it go as you throw, after you throw it, once you hit the Pokemon. And some of you guys may want to watch this again just to make sure that you get the initial part. And as you see me click on these guys, those guys have already been caught. As you'll see in 1 second, there was a Nidoran here that I did not get. Boom, all gone. And there it is, each one of those Pokemon sitting in my bag. At that speed, you can encounter an incredible amount of shinies and candy all at the same time without having to compromise.